gained 1 bar of battery, so it's currently showing 5. So we're crossing our fingers that that is enough for us to make the 10-mile trip back home. How you doing, Duff here? Cindy's up ahead, leading the way on her Segway. And we are doing our first ever Dunkin' Donuts test ride on the Segway. We want to see if we can do it. 10 miles each way. Never attempted before. So we have an advancing cold front coming in, so we are dealing with some significant wind. It's going to be pushing against us right now. Hopefully it'll be pushing us back on the way back. You can see the wind pushing against Cindy's shirt. So just for safety's sake and because of the width of the I-2, we're going to try to stay on sidewalks for most of this. Obstacle course. Wilson, we crossed over, we're back on the sidewalk. It's a little easier riding on the sidewalk. Cindy, what are we at? 1 bar down right now? 1 bar down out of 8, and we're okay, just dropped 2. All right. Well, that makes sense. So I do have the charge cord in my pocket, and the plan is to plug it in when we get to Dunkin' Donuts to give it a little boost of juice until we get home. All right, so we're right around the halfway mark on the journey to Dunkin' Donuts. What's our battery check at on the Segway? 2? All right. We're still showing 2 bars down out of 8, so. My optimistic viewpoint is as long as we have 4 bars when we get to Dunkin' Donuts and I plug it in for a half hour, that we should be able to do this. I hope. We're traveling somewhere around 11 to 12, trying to stay just below the top end speed of the Segway. All right, here's an update. We're probably got about 1.5 miles, a little less than 1.5 miles to go, and she recently dropped down to the 4 bar mark, about half battery life, so it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. What's that? I know. Take your time. So of course our plan B, if the Segway does not make it all the way back to the house, is I will just haul ass on the Monster and go pick up the truck and come back and get her. So we have thought of that situation. So Cindy said that like a low battery, looked like a low battery message popped up even though it shows 4 bars, which is a possibility. So I remember Don mentioned to me that sometimes the battery indicator could be not correct with the new info key, so could be pushing it. All right, well, we have officially made it to Dunkin' Donuts. There it is. Now we just have to figure out how to cross the street. All right, we made it across. Yeah. indicator is still showing 4 bars, but I'm not quite as optimistic as I was at the onset of this journey that we're going to make it back. I remember last time it was really cold. Alright, so we just kind of chilled at Dunkin' Donuts for a little bit more than a half hour with the i2 plugged in. Gained 1 bar of battery, so it's currently showing 5. So we're crossing our fingers that that is enough for us to make the 10-mile trip back home. Let's find out. And just FYI, the battery indicator on the Monster shows full. Didn't drop one dot. Wave. Some waiting, we managed to cross here at Heritage Bay to get back on the sidewalk. So not exactly convenient or safe, but we did it. Alright, so we are trucking. We're back down to 4 bars. So right now I'm in the lead here. See Cindy back there. We're trying to maximize mileage by me being a windbreaker, even though we're not going that fast. We're trying to keep it around 11 or so. Do you still show 4 bars? Okay. Alright. We still got 4 bars on the battery display, but I'm not quite sure how accurate that is. Cindy came up with a new recommendation for riding the Segway i2 on long sidewalk journeys. What's your recommendation?
Wear a mouth guard, because all these bumps, your teeth are hitting each other and it hurts after a while. So I'm going to stick my tongue between my teeth for the rest of the ride.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty funny if her safety gear list included a mouth guard. So I just watched Marty's video this morning where he took the guts of a Tesla basically and stuck it in his ACM2 that he sold to someone, that the axle broke, that it sounds like that person might have scammed him and actually crashed it and broke the axle themselves. But anyways, Marty wound up with his ACM2 back and he put a Tesla motor in it, which I thought was a very interesting swap. Ran into some technical challenges along the way, but in the end, it worked out well. His new wheel looks cool. He put an off-road tire on it, painted the shell, so yeah, turned out really, really well. Good job, Marty. So Cindy just reported that the battery is now down to the 2-bar level. The good news is we're approaching Wilson Boulevard, which is somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 miles away from home, so we may get lucky. We may not. We'll see. We're still tracking pretty much right around 11 miles an hour, so it's, the speed hasn't really dropped. Alright, we have just crossed Oil Well Road, meaning we have roughly a mile to go. And Cindy is still at 2 bars of battery, so to be quite honest, I'm surprised. We've been going a little bit slower right now. We have a little bit of a tailwind helping us, but based on the numbers on the way there, I really did not expect to be able to make it back. And we're not back yet, but it's looking like we're going to squeak in. At this point, my feet are totally numb. I really wish I would have remembered to put the seat on the Monster, because I would be sitting right about now. Actually gave you some bad information there. Oil Well Road is actually 2 miles from our house. The fairgrounds is a mile from the house, which we are approaching now. So now we are officially in the home stretch. Still at 2 bars of battery life and holding. This is the section where there's really no bike lane, so since she has the Segway, which is very adept at handling these off-road conditions, she's going to ride on the grass, and the Monster's pretty good at it as well, so we'll try it on the Monster as well. Just watch out for holes. Yep. Lots of little potholes here. Really bumpy. City's actually doing better from the I-2 than I am on the Monster. We're nearly to the end of we're nearly to the end of our off-roading here. Thankfully, the end of a 20-mile ride, getting beat up like this isn't exactly fun. All right, we made it. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. All right, there's our street sign. Getting close. Yes, I saw that.
Serious?
Yeah, congratulations. She made it.
Baby!
Who is it?
Hi, baby. Hello.
I didn't order a Segway.
It's the Segway girl. You just won this for being so cute. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna get my helmet off that.
So the battery indicator is still at 2 bars, believe it or not. It's crazy. All right, so we are safely at home. Something I was not quite sure was going to be the case when we left Dunkin' Donuts. The battery range that we got out of the i2 there was surprising, considering that's a used battery it's over a decade old, 11 or 12 years even maybe. I don't quite remember. I don't know if you can see the Monster at 4 battery indicators out of 5 after a 20-mile ride, so that's pretty good. It's a 1600 watt Monster. So Cindy, do you have any feedback from your ride?
Huh?
So do you have any feedback from the ride after going 10 or 20 miles on an i2?
Not fun.
Yeah, that's one of those kind of things that, I mean, it's not fun to be going on a straight line, especially when you're speed limited with the i2. So it's kind of one of those things that you just want to prove that you can do it, but there's probably no foreseeable need to take the i2 to Dunkin' Donuts in the future. But
thank you for saying that, because I was just going to say I don't need to ever do that again. I'll check it off my list.
But we proved it. It works.
But it's good to know that the battery life, in case you get stuck somewhere, you know.
Yeah, because we were unsure of what the actual battery life would be, because as I mentioned, Don told me that sometimes that indicator, when you get a new info key, can be not calibrated correctly. So yeah, we got good range, more than I expected. So if you found this video interesting and fun, give it a big thumbs up. If this is your first time visiting, please consider subscribing. If not for me, for Elsa. Right, Elsa? No? Elsa's going under the desk. And yeah, that's it. Till next time, Stuff Man out.